Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Today I wanted to talk to you a bit about the energy shifting, changing that's necessary when I do your spell work. Now, I will emphasize that it's possible that your spell will manifest or show movement without you changing your energy or without changing it fully. It's totally possible. The spell itself can do the work without you doing the work. However, this is not something I recommend because even if your spell manifests, for example, you get your eggs back, they come back, but you still stay in your old energy, old negative energy, you're just gonna lose them again. So, for your spell to be permanent, to have permanent results, and to actually fully manifest, because it may just be movement, 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 and then never the full thing, you really need to change your energy. So, I talked a lot about how when I was super young, when I started doing spells, real spells, I was doing them for this one person that was not my ex boyfriend, but ex situationship, I guess, and this person never had emotions for me or anything, and yet he did come back. But it took me like 2 years. I'm not exactly sure how long because it was so long ago, but it was a while. And I did get movement like straight away. I would even do the communication spell and I would get the movement the next day. However, I was just getting movement and nothing else. I would run into him on the street and things like that, but I would never get my spell manifested because I was still, while I was doing these spells, I was very needy. I was very desperate. I was all the time just needy and desperate, and I was actually trying to manipulate the target. I did not contact him, not in that way, but these little tricks we do. And I didn't get the manifestation until my energy completely changed. And that is just one way I know how it works, just from my own experience, because I love to test things on myself. Give you examples that I went through because it's just the most clear example I have, right? Because it's not someone else. I actually know what happened for sure. So, why am I always emphasizing working on your self worth, on your self esteem? So, whatever you want to achieve, it doesn't have to be bringing back the ex, it can be anything. You want new friends, you want a new job, you want more money, you want a new love interest, you want a new partner, whatever. It doesn't have to be an ex, it's the same principle. I just always use the ex example because most of my clients want their exes back. So it's just easiest for me to use that example because it will relate, they will relate to it better. But it's the same thing. So I'm gonna do this audio like general, whatever you want. Okay, it can be anything. So, whatever it is that you want, the first step is to really love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how will someone else love you? How will you get someone else back? How will you get the career you want? How will you get friends? Okay. Number two is you really have to become comfortable on your own. So, comfortable being just by yourself. So, and it kind of means instead of crying when you're alone and feeling miserable and thinking how horrible your life is, like actually, doing something fun all by yourself. I'm such an introvert, and I think that introverts have this so much easier because, I keep myself entertained without any problem. I'm never bored. I've never been bored in my entire life. So you really have to become that person that everyone's gonna like, that everyone's wanna want to hang out with, that everyone's wanna want to date. You have to develop as that person, and that means just really being comfortable by yourself. If you're not comfortable by yourself, it's not gonna work. So also, if you're looking for a new partner or ex-back, sorry, you have to be okay with being alone. Because you have to realize that being alone is not the worst thing in the world. It actually has a lot of pluses, and you have more time. You can do whatever you want. It's just really nice. And I'm telling you this because I am single and I love it, at this point of my life. So you really have to embrace the single life. You have to embrace, also, if you're looking for friends, again, embrace just not having them, just doing things on your own by yourself. So it's really important to, just love yourself, to have that self confidence, to have that self respect and self worth. Another thing is you have to have your boundaries. You have to be aware that you're not gonna accept shitty behavior just so you're not alone. You're not gonna accept shitty behavior from your ex just to get them back. You really gotta have that firm no. And I know you kind of want to give in to whatever your ex wants just to have them back, but that's the wrong way to go and it will not keep them. Actually, being your person that cares about your needs. I mean, sure, you should care about their needs as well, but your needs should come always first. And I'm going to give you an example, okay? So let's say you're texting this new guy, and texting, I mean, you are in contact with this new guy. And this guy is only texting you when he wants to see you. And I don't necessarily mean for sex. I mean, if you just met him and he texts you only when he wants to go on a date or only when he has time, and for example, he texts you once a week or twice a week, and you're not okay with that, and you feel kind of shitty, if you feel he's treating you shitty and poorly, because you want someone who will actually be excited to talk to you and to share their day with you, his day, because we're using a guy example, okay? It can be a girl, again, I'm just giving you random examples, seriously. And you just want someone who will actually put effort into you, and you don't want this, but you're like texting him because you don't have anyone else, you go on dates because you don't have anyone else in the moment, you kind of just want to be in a relationship, or you just want to have some attention. This is wrong, okay? This will lead you nowhere. Obviously you don't like the guy, he's not meeting your needs, and if you end up with him, he will still not meet your needs, and you will just be miserable and anxious, and your mental health is going to go to hell, and your self-worth and self-esteem along with it. So what you need to do in this situation is be honest. Tell him, look, I'm sorry, this is not working out for me. I'm used to getting more attention, and this is just not interesting for me. It's boring, and that's it. That's a really good text. It's not needy, it's not desperate, it's a powerful text. Trust me, try it out. So just tell him the situation, and let him know that you have high standards. And don't be afraid to have high standards, because if you don't have high standards, you're not gonna attract high vibrational beings. That's just how it is. So always keep your standards high. Don't just accept whatever just so you don't end up alone, just that you have somebody to hang out with, whatever the case may be. So when you're in this high vibration that we're trying to get you in with all of this work on yourself and your self-esteem and self-worth, you will naturally not be attracted or interested in someone who is not meeting your needs. You will be repulsed by it, and you're just not gonna want to have anything to do with a person like that. And that is how your energy has changed. You will just not be interested automatically. You will be repulsed. You know how some girls actually get interested if a guy ghosts them, or if a guy texts them sporadically and they're like anxiously waiting for the text. They get anxiously attached to guys like that. That's obviously really unhealthy, and they're in a really low vibration. So when you get in the high vibration, that will change, and those guys that you were previously attracted to because they were treating you poorly are now automatically and naturally going to be repulsive to you, because this is not the behavior you deserve. And if you think you deserve this behavior, it's the behavior you're going to be craving. So you really have to understand what you deserve. And it's not just with, guys or girls or new people or exes, it's with everything. So, you really have to understand what you want, and that you are not accepting anything less. And that's it. It's much healthier to wait for a right person to come along and to meet all of your needs than just to take the first person that comes along and just, accept shitty behavior. That's just not what you should be doing. So I hope it's kind of clearer now, because I know it's hard to achieve, but it honestly comes naturally once you really reach that self-esteem point where you are loving yourself, when you want yourself to be happy, when you want yourself to have only the best, when you realize that you deserve better, when you realize you deserve the best. And that is when your energy is going to change. It really is not something you can force, it's something you need to work on.